Hello everyone. Today we will be finishing up our discussion of financial math with an overview of consumer debt. Now in this video we will be looking at two of the most common forms of consumer debt, and those are credit cards and installment loans. So the first of these we'll look at will be credit cards. And credit cards, when we are dealing with consumer debt from credit cards, we have what's known as finance charges, and essentially this is simple interest paid on your outstanding balance on your credit card. So the idea is that if you make all of your payments on time, then you are not going to pay any interest, but otherwise you will pay interest at whatever the APR is for your credit card. So the way that we calculate the finance charges is basically using two things. So the first one of these is what we call the average daily balance. That is exactly what it sounds like. You just take the balance of that credit card for every day during that billing cycle, basically, and you average it up. And then the second one is the periodic interest rate. Basically, the way that we calculate this is with our APR, we'll use lowercase r for that, times the number of days, D, in the billing cycle divided by 365. So let's look at an example of this. So let's say we have a credit card that has a 15.5% APR, and we want to calculate the finance charges for the month of January with an average daily balance of $425. So the first step here is going to be to calculate our periodic interest rate. So our periodic interest rate, we'll just call this lowercase p. And in this case, there are 31 days in January, so it's going to be our APR, 15.5%. So expressed as a decimal, this is going to be 0.155 times our number of days, 31, over 365. And what this gives us is 0.0136, or 316, sorry. So this is our periodic interest rate. So now all we have to do to find the finance charge is basically just multiply this by our average daily balance. So finance charges, we'll just use FC as our abbreviation for this. So our average daily balance, we said, is $425. So $425 times 0.01316. And that's going to give us finance charges of $559. All right. Now, the second source of consumer debt that we'll look at for today is installment loans. Now, installment loans, this can be anything like, say, student loans or mortgages or car loans. Any of these kinds of loans where you are paying off the amount of the loan with interest, of course, in a series of equal installments over whatever period of time. So when we have installment loans, this process of paying off loans using equal monthly installments is what we call amortization, and the way we calculate the monthly payments is with this formula right here. So M is our monthly payment, capital P is our principal, and then lowercase p, which we have here, here, and here, this is our monthly interest rate, basically just our APR divided by 12. And then T, or capital T, is our number of monthly installments that we have in total. So let's look at an example of this. So in this example, we have a 25-year mortgage with an APR of 4.5%, and a principal of $225,000, and we want to determine what the monthly payment is that's going to go with this mortgage, basically. So we're going to turn to our amortization formula. So our principal in this case is $225,000, and then our monthly interest rate, that's going to be basically 4.5% is our APR. So P is just going to be R over 12, which is 0.045 over 12, or 0.00375. So we're basically just going to plug in that 0.00375 for this lowercase p here. So 0.00375 times 1 plus that, so 1 plus 0.00375. T in this case, our number of monthly payments. We have 25 years, so we're going to multiply that by 12 months in a year, so that's going to give us 300 monthly payments total. And then down here in the bottom, we have 1 plus p to the t, so that's going to be 1 plus 0.00375 to the 300 again, minus 1. So if we put all of this into our calculator, then what we're going to get is $1,250.62 per month. So this is how we calculate the monthly payments for anything like mortgages or car loans, any of these things that we're paying off in monthly installments. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'm happy to help with whatever questions you have.